my last video was posted months ago, and in that time I have made a baby, had a baby, and we have tuned the hybrid Renesis. In fact, it is now December. The garage door is open because we got our one warm day before the snow hits us again. I'm going to do a quick recap of everything that's happened leading up to the car getting tuned. And then we're going to meet back here and talk about what's next for the hybrid Renesis. All right, go watch that. The hybrid Renesis has been alive for 1,000 miles now, and I hope you guys have been enjoying the videos recently because I haven't actually been filming anything. Yeah, I've put all the break-in miles on this thing, haven't filmed any of it, and I've been fighting with a bunch of issues. But in this video, we are going to get this car tuned. I don't know how yet because we've got some issues that are holding me back from that, but it's ready to go. As soon as we figure out what's wrong with the APV, my lean codes, and my misfire codes, we're beginning tuning, and then hopefully this thing's going to the dyno. Wow, look at this. You can actually see what I'm doing now. Hey, what the fuck? Oh, dang, I got the gynecologist method going on right now. All right, worked though.
Shout out to my boy Chris Sticks. It's always good to touch up on skills you've forgotten about. All right, so we need to test the valves on the intake. I need to figure out if they're all working. I've been told by some buddies that a couple of these valves not working is a common sign for it to break up at 4,500 RPM.
Now what we're gonna do is I've got this Harbor Freight vacuum pump. We're just gonna apply a vacuum and we're gonna listen for the lower valve to actuate. I don't remember exactly what this one's labeled. Now I can hear it actuating. Watch, you're gonna hear it release. There it goes. Curious if the solenoids are actually holding vacuum as well. So we're gonna test that. Huh, I was expecting that to pull a vacuum. Okay, so we gotta apply a voltage to these to close them. I think I found out one of the problems with the hybrid Renesis. These valves on the back of the intake operate the SSV, the VDI, and all this other abbreviations that I don't remember. All that matters is when we tested all three, we should get that click right there. Listen. The problem is we didn't get that click on this vacuum solenoid here, which was originally operating one of the valves on the intake. So that was very likely part of my lean condition and my misfire code. This thing has been apart for too long. I needed to get it back together and it's ready for the first fire. Why am I so nervous? I've already built this car. Nothing rubbing, let me check. I don't know what that noise is. And I've noticed that my belt is pretty loose. I'm a fucking idiot. I didn't tighten down the water pump bolts. Nice. Got the car all fixed and it was running again on the factory tune. And unfortunately, we're nowhere close to being done. Well, we are close to tuning, but we have an electrical problem and I don't know if it's the wire that I solder or if it's my alternator. And just like that, tuning has begun. So if you guys didn't know, I am using Mazda Edit. Hi, just wanted to make it clear, I do not recommend anybody use Mazda Edit. And I have picked up a code from DR Tuned. Seems like they do a lot of Mazdas. Oh, and no beef with DR Tuned. He actually isn't even the one that did my tune. I just bought my access code from him. In fact, I would actually recommend DR Tuned. He was great to work with. Now, DR Tuned actually has a PDF file for setting up and then actually flashing a tune. Walks you through everything, which is amazing because I've never done this before. My tuner said that the very first thing he wants is a copy of the factory tune. Luckily, DR Tune's PDF tells you exactly how to do it. It's its own little section. Not sponsored, by the way. Highly recommend it. This PDF file makes it really easy. I'm an idiot and forgot to turn on the microphone. What we're doing here is we are going ahead and collecting a data log of the factory tune with the hybrid setup. It turns out the microphone works better when I turn it on. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit log to file. Got a little green bar, so I think we're good to go. Here. gonna give them just like a nice, like mild pull from 2000 on. Now that lean condition was somewhere around 5,000, and I actually felt it. I mean, you can feel it. The car is like, and then it just picks up. Let's talk about the sauce of a hybrid setup on a factory tune. All right, here's the very first data log I took, and here is it graphed. I don't have some fancy viewing software, so this is what I made in Sheets. Test A is RPM, and test B is AFR. It's A and B, that way I can quickly change it like here. You can see my timing. But what we're gonna see is when I start to do this pull, right here from about 2,000 all the way to 7,000 RPM, our AFRs start around stoic and slowly migrate to 12. This means that our AFR is anywhere from 12 to almost 15, which I personally would not be comfortable with. I'm not a tuner though. We see it again. I grab third gear and do another light pull. And again, AFR start at stoic and slowly migrate to 12. What I believe we're seeing is that we've got more airflow at lower RPMs than the engine was anticipating. So at this point, we're just waiting on a tune revision for the hybrid Renesis. There's a couple things that I wasn't stoked about, mainly oil and coolant temperatures while sitting in traffic. You can see one of my new sponsors is Pro gauges on my dash. At the time, these gauges are red, letting me know my temperatures are low, but they'll also turn red, letting me know that my temperatures are high. What I didn't know is I was about to drive my car over 2 hours away and then get a rattle that would scare the daylights out of me. This would kick off another round of repairs to the RX-8. I didn't turn my mic on for this clip as well. Why would I? And what I found out was I was getting this knocking sound right down, right here. That was originally a clacking noise. That is my secondary shutter valve, and I guess they're known to rattle, and the solution is to just put something soft over top. I elected for some black heat shrink that I had, slipped it over, heated it up, and it seems to be a tight enough fit. I previously had an alignment done and found out my camber bolts are seized, so we're gonna cut those off. All right, a lot has happened, and I just got a huge update. I just got the first tune for the hybrid Renesis from my tuner. Now, the problem is, obviously, we don't have a battery in here. I don't even have a control arm on this side. We got to get this thing back together. And now it's just a matter of fixing up odds and ends. We had an oil leak. All right, so what I have since learned is that my oil leak was actually coming from this glow shift sandwich plate. I had yet another coolant leak. I thought my coolant leak was under the thermostat housing. That was not the case. It was actually this hose right here because it was dripping onto my O&P and then down. Honestly, I've always been a sucker for dress-up bolts. I just wish I could put more in, honestly. It's kind of rice, but I like it, all right? I like it. And gentlemen, that's kind of where we're at. I've since put the car back together. We've got a first tune. I'm even installing the hybrid Renesis exhaust manifold, but my custom gasket is leaking, so I've had to stop. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that. Unfortunately, not a ton of really cool stuff happened. It's one of those things where you've only got so much money to work with, and when you've got a 2-year-old and another baby on the way, it kind of limits what you can do. But Facebook is treating me well. We're starting to generate some income, and it's time for version 2 of the hybrid Renesis. 90% of the front of this car is about to come off right now. And we're doing a complete cooling system overhaul, and then we're going to prepare for autocross and track events next season. So I apologize for the delay. I hope you subscribe and look forward to it because I'm actually starting that work right now. Thank you guys for subscribing.